don't vanish within minutes as they once did. They now linger and spread, sometimes for hours, forming strange, suspicious patterns. Rosalind Peterson is one of those believers.
Among many.
It's not normal for us. It's a grand experiment.
Peterson lives in Northern California near San Francisco.
Reports.
At one time, she worked for the State Department of Agriculture. Part of her job involved being aware of environmental issues.
I first started noticing unusual contrails in 2002 when it was brought to my attention by a friend of mine. He took me outside of his office and we began to look at these persistent jet contrails.
Covert
Peterson
environmental
thought she saw a connection
engineering.
between aircraft activity and reports of chemically contaminated water in communities throughout California.
Damn right.
There were unusual high spikes in chemicals and heavy metals. Barium, aluminum, manganese, magnesium, zinc. And I suspect that we're getting the pollution from something in the atmosphere that's being released.
Peterson became so alarmed about the chemical contrails that she formed an organization called California Skywatch, a group dedicated to clean air.
I started documenting what I was seeing. I took pictures on my breaks. I took pictures at lunch hour. I started to really get angry because our once deep blue skies were no longer deep blue. They would turn into a white haze, and they would turn into these man-made clouds blocking the sunlight.
Peterson discovered that she wasn't alone in her concerns. Hundreds of websites revealed that persistent airplane contrails had become a worldwide problem.
Nanodust.
I started then to research internet sites and government agencies, the EPA, NOAA, NASA, the United States Air Force. I learned that there was a lot of atmospheric heating and testing programs going on. I learned that there was lots of equipment that would lead these type of persistent plumes and spray chemicals.
Is an investigative journalist who believes that some contrails are
reached a point where the climate change conversation seems more about theology than it does about science, where you can believe in climate change if you are affiliated with one political leaning, and you're not supposed to believe in climate change if you're affiliated with another political leaning. That's a form of madness.
So we need to take this into account. There's a lot of things going on, and we need to take responsibility for that, be aware of it, and try to help be part of the change. What does geoengineering have to do with the fires around the globe? Geoengineering, again, is climate engineering, the deliberate attempt of governments around the globe to engineer the climate. They're creating climate chaos. They're very successful at that. They're contaminating the entire planet. They're successful at that as well. But as far as doing anything beneficial for the populations, that's absolutely not the case. And in fact, I would argue that's not their intent at all. It's about power and control, not the common good. Geoengineering contributes to fires in the following ways. Saturating the atmosphere with sprayed particulates creates drought and deluge in certain places, but protracted drought is a common occurrence, an intentionally caused occurrence in many locations. Blistering UV radiation. This is an absolute fact. The UV radiation is off the scale. Take a look at some of the trees around town that are dropping their leaves right now. It's not just drought. These are landscape trees in many cases. Bioavailable metals. There's a mountain of toxic metals, again, falling from the sky. We know this. In Northern California alone, Shasta, Siskiyou counties, we've done 70-plus lab tests. It's an absolutely indisputable fact that, again, a tremendous amount of toxic metal is falling on us. It's changing soil pHs. It's contaminating waters. It's directly related to these programs. We know it's not coming from China. I want to stress that. California Air Resources Board has studied the metals migrating from China, and these metals are not amongst them. In fact, the aerosols from China, I should say, it's not metals coming from China. The only metal that migrates across
is with the introduction of vast quantities of an extremely small, water-loving metallic salt at flight altitude. This transformation cannot be achieved with water vapor alone, and the emissions under examination are indeed not water vapor. They are solid, and they are well entrenched into your air supply. These important conclusions are at the very heart of the aerosol operations that are being disclosed here. These changes in the very atmosphere that we breathe have a fundamental impact upon the life of this planet. aerosol operations have many potential applications that reduce the sanctity of that life. These operations are being conducted. They are being conducted without your participation or your informed consent. They are affecting your life, the lives of those you know and love, and the very life of the planet itself.